Becky, my channel is What Beck Sews. Welcome back if you're a subscriber and welcome if you're new. Today's vlog is about blouses. Yes, blouses. Spring is here and it's that time of year where I just want to wear beautiful things, flowy fabrics, and I want to be able to style them up, usually with a pair of trousers or a pair of jeans. So the blouse is the perfect thing for that. Now, of course, this vlog is coming at you completely inspired by the challenge that's running this month by the lovely Gabrielle from Cloth Edit and being co-hosted by Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne this year. Now, this is a challenge that's being run across the month of April. All you need to do is make up a blouse, and that is wide open as to what a blouse actually is, but generally a top that has some sort of detailing to it, and then you post it over on Instagram and make sure that you tag the hashtag SewAprilBlouse25. So fairly straightforward. So let's talk about the blouses that I've got to share with you. The first blouse that I want to share with you is actually a tried and tested, and the one that I am wearing today. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Nell blouse. Now, I actually finished this morning. Yes, I started it last year and I finished it this morning. This is my second Nell blouse. It has this gorgeous puff sleeve to it. I absolutely love it. I have been waiting, this is my excuse anyway, for the perfect buttons, and recently I've made these gorgeous square buttons from Bijasson Wow Handmade in these gorgeous sort of lemon colours with pinks and oranges, and it picks out all the colours in this blouse, and they're square, which I just love something different. So the Tilly and the Buttons Nell blouse is beginner friendly. It comes in their full size range, so you've got up to size 34 if I remember correctly. So really inclusive, and the instructions are great, and it's beginner friendly. So this is a dress and a blouse pattern, so you get a bit of bang for your buck because you've got quite a few different variations. You've got one that has this gorgeous puff sleeve, but you also have one that has a fairly simple, straightforward, regular set sleeve. You have a button down front, you have a tie detail front, and you have a peplum as well. So there's quite a few different variations that you can make just from this one pattern. So it's quite a versatile pattern to have in your wardrobe. This can be made in drapey fabrics, in cottons, in linens, in double gauze. It works for a variety, and depending on the look that you want, depends on the look that you go for. I will pop in a picture here, which is of my one that I made last year, which was a cotton voile, which was a lovely drape, and although I did the puff sleeve to it, I felt that the drape really scaled back that structure that you get from wearing the one I'm wearing today. This is quite structured, but this is a quick sew. It only takes about 3 hours to do, which I think is really good when you're making up a blouse. So it's one that maybe is a good weekend project, or one that you can pick up and put down because the instructions are so easy to come back to. So that is blouse number one. Blouse number two is not a tried and tested, but it is one that I am planning to make for my entry to Sew April Blouse. This is the Dara Blouse by Seamwork. Now, the Dara Blouse by Seamwork is available if you are a subscriber of Seamwork, but you can also buy their patterns independently. And I will link it down below so you can go ahead and buy this if you want to. But if you are a subscriber of Seamwork, you will be able to access this blouse. This is a raglan sleeve blouse with a it's gathered into the neckline, it's gathered into the cuff. So this would be great for a plain fabric. It would work really well if you want to style this up with jeans, because I think it's quite a scaled back blouse, but you could also make this in a really beautiful print and really elevate that look. But that gathering detail is just so lovely. The blouse has an option on the front to add in either like a piece of lace or trim into it as well, so you've got a couple of different options about how you want that to look, so you can elevate it a little bit more either with your plain fabrics or with patterned fabrics. So this is one that I am going to make up. I'm not planning on putting the trim in there, and I'm planning on making this in a gorgeous red linen that I have, because I have visions of this. I don't know if anybody else does this when they're planning what they're going to make, but my vision of this Dara blouse is with my pink trousers and my red and pink trainers that I've got, and I just think all of that together would be a perfect combo, and you wouldn't miss me in the crowd, would you? So that is the second one. Now, the nice thing about Seamwork patterns is they do tend to have two size ranges. You have a curvy size range, which is from 12 to 32, I think. And then they've got their Mrs. size range, which is from 0 to 18. So you've got quite a good inclusive size range there, and if you do have that gorgeous curvier figure, you have a bodice pattern that is tailored more to your curves. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it already. Pattern number 3. Pattern number 3 is very similar to the Dara blouse, but it is the Sew House 7 Remy Raglan. So the difference between the two of these is you've got an option of necklines, and the neckline isn't gathered. So this still has a bias bound neckline. It is still a raglan sleeve. It does go into a gathered cuff, but what it has is just a plain neckline or a keyhole neckline. So you've got a couple of options depending on what you want. Typically the ones that are made up in the stock photos are in linens, but I have made this in a double gauze. I have made this in like a chiffon fabric that I got from Lane McElroy. I'll stick a picture of that one in here. That one was beautiful. That was a very nice blousey effect that I've worn out for dinner a couple of times, and I've also worn to work a couple of times. It's had that mix of being casual but also perfect for the office environment. I do quite like a chiffon Remy Raglan. I think it's quite nice if you want to put a vest on underneath. It really gives you that nice look. Or maybe you're a bit braver than I am and you're a bit more daring. If you're going out on night on the town, maybe you could just have your bra on underneath. I mean, I'm showing my age here, but I don't think I could do that anymore. But yeah, I think the options are quite nice there. This really suits a good print as well, I think, because you've got enough space with it being the raglan, apart from the seam lines for the shoulders. It won't break up the print too much, and it gives you great sleeves. Now, one adaptation I made to this particular blouse on me is I always put a cuff, an elasticated cuff in rather than having that bias binding there, because I am one that likes to do this all the time. So it just makes life a little bit easier for me. So that is blouse number 3. Blouse number 4. This one is a new to me pattern that I purchased recently, and I purchased it for the jumpsuit because I've been on a bit of a jumpsuit bender recently. But I really like the chicness of the blouse element. So this is a dress, this is a jumpsuit, and this is a blouse. Now, this is definitely a French pattern. You can tell it's a French pattern, and I'm going to butcher the name, and I apologize, but it's the Coralie Bijasson. That I'm pretty sure is incorrect. I'll pop it across the screen. And it's the Astrid blouse, dress and jumpsuit. Now, the nice thing about this is it just has a gorgeous, interesting sort of pleated detail across the shoulders, but the rest of it is just very, very chic. Now, whilst I have interest in making all versions of this, I think this would be lovely in a solid fabric or a pinstripe fabric. This is one I definitely feel like you'd wear to work, or you'd wear with a pair of jeans and maybe a tailored blazer and some trainers, just to make it that little bit more casual. That's how I can see styling this one up. So yeah, I do really like this blouse. Now, when I was looking through my instructions the other day, I was trying to work out my sizing with this because I sent this off for AO printing a little while ago, and it's there for me to cut out and start getting on with. One of the things that I found with this is there is a QR code embedded in the instructions for you to go over and check out a tutorial. And a bit like Maison Fauve, it is in French, but the translation is in English. But I have looked through the instructions. I would say that these instructions are fairly beginner friendly and fairly easy to work through because the diagrams are pretty good. But the instructions, the YouTube tutorial is there if you need it, because I can see the yoke and the shoulders being the only tricky thing for this. And the final one that I want to talk to you about, now this is not the most size inclusive blouse, and I'm really sorry, but it is one that I think I want to make up, so I am going to include it. This only goes from a size 4 up to a size 16, which is a real shame because it's a beautiful, beautiful blouse, and it would be nice to see this in a larger size range. This is the Ready to Sew Jude blouse, and this has the most beautiful shoulder detail. It has like a pleating across the shoulder that goes into the front yoke, but I can see this being the perfect top to wear with a pair of jeans. This is the definition of a casual blouse in my opinion, but with the right fabrics you could really, really elevate this blouse as well. So I think that this would be quite straightforward to put together, and the nice thing about this is it only uses 1.2 meters of fabric. Now maybe that's because it's not the most size inclusive that it only uses 1.2 meters of fabric, but if you're like me and you go and buy 3 as your safe bet, 3 meters, safe bet. And then you go and make a top, and you've always got probably about 1.5 or 1.3 meters left. And you're like, well, what do I do with that? This would be that perfect blouse that you could just fit in. And it's the sleeveless one. It's the first one that I've got that hasn't got any sleeves on it. I've filmed this video 4 times today. We've been in my sewing room, we've been in here, we've been upstairs, and we've been interrupted by dogs, we've been interrupted by children, and we've been interrupted by my partner. And I was just interrupted again by my child. And I don't know if you can even hear in the background, but there is music that is like a full blast from my children blaring their music out. So I'm going to wrap up today's blouse video. I hope I've given you some fantastic inspiration in there and things that you really want to try out. Let me know if you are going to try any of the ones that I've suggested below, or if you've already made them up, or what you're making for Sew April blouse. And don't forget to go and check out my other vlog where I talk through a few other tried and tested blouses last year. Thank you for taking the time to watch me today. If you don't already subscribe, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you want to see more from me, and hit that thumbs up so other people know this is my content and they share it. Take care, guys. Have a great week and happy sewing.